Welcome to High Tea with Me, with your host, Katrina Brittingham. You brought your favorite beverage, and she brought the career advice. Now sit back and relax while you get advice that will take you to the next destination in your career or business. And now, Katrina Brittingham. Hello, I'm Katrina Brittingham. I am the host of High Tea with Me, and I'm here to discuss with you how to use social media to impact your job search, or how social media impacts your job search. This is even more relevant now that more and more job interviews are virtual as opposed to face-to-face due to COVID-19. And how, if your social media is not set up properly, that you may miss the interview, or even after the interview, you will have recruiters and employers that search you online, and it will impact how they see you and if they hire you for a job. So this is so important. And give me one moment while I share my screen so that you can see it. All right, here we go. So okay, I am going through a whole bunch of stuff, so I do apologize. So how to use your social media. So when you are looking at your social media, and I keep clicking on it when I'm trying to move this little box so you can see. So as you can see, 77% of recruiters use search engines to find background data on you. And 35% have reported eliminating a candidate based on what they find online. Now, this is also true even more now that people are working from home or there's social distancing going on. So these numbers are based on numbers prior to COVID. And I have not been able to find any more numbers on this because everyone is pretty much in an uproar about COVID and working from home. So if these were the numbers prior to COVID, you know that these numbers are going to be extremely impacted by this. So the big, let's see if I can do this without switching the slide, is the big one that they use to look for you is LinkedIn. So if you do not have a LinkedIn profile as a job seeker, or you have an incomplete profile, you are at a disadvantage in your job search, simply because this is where 97% of recruiters and talent acquisition staff use this platform to find qualified candidates. And this was on Forbes, again, prior to COVID. So you're pretty much looking at a higher number than this for people who are looking for talented candidates. And it does not matter if you have a desk job, and it does not matter if you have an essential position. People are looking and searching you online to see what they can find of you. So you want to make sure that you have this profile that is complete, that you have the information on there, that you have a professional photo, a professional headshot that will look similar to this. This is an actual old headshot of myself that I had on LinkedIn until I upgraded to show that I have locks now, as opposed to this hairstyle. My hair is significantly longer. It's actually longer than it is on the headshot that I have, but people will be able to recognize that this is me. If you have gained a significant amount of weight or lost a significant amount of weight where it affects how you look, then you want to make sure that you are updating your headshot on a regular basis. So your headshot should be in professional attire. It should have a neutral background, and it should be professionally done ideally. If you don't have a professional headshot, you can stand before a white wall or a tan wall, a neutral color wall, and have someone else take the headshot of you in professional gear. That will work as well. Just make sure that the camera is a clear camera. You can use an iPhone or a smartphone that has a pretty good camera, and there are a lot of smartphones that have decent cameras now, so you should be able to get a headshot that works for you. You don't want to use a selfie or a photo with a distracting background. You can even tell if things have been cropped out, like if you're in a photo with some other people and you crop it out, those things are going to be noticeable. So you want to make sure that you don't do that. And even sometimes cropping will make the resolution look blurry and unprofessional. So you want to make sure that you are doing that. So what do you need to do to have your profile be professional and complete? The first thing is the profile and the headline. You want to have a headline that describes who you are and what you offer to the employer. It doesn't matter what you want per se. It matters what the employer is looking for, and what you want should be what the employer is looking for, but you want to make sure that you are looking at that. You want to make sure that you look at what the employer wants. So what you want to do is you want to look at a group of employers for the jobs that you are looking for. Most of them will be similar in some type of way. So you want to make sure that you are putting yourself out there and presenting yourself as someone that they want to hire. You want to have professors, managers, and colleagues write recommendations and to endorse your skills on the site. So after your profile is completed, you want to make sure that you have those things. Somebody who can sign off to say, yes, this person did do these things. Yes, this person is a good worker. Yes, you should hire this person because they are the bomb.com. Okay? You want to make sure that your profile is not a carbon copy of your resume, because they're going to ask for your resume. So you want to have some key bullets and things to highlight your accomplishments and the things that you have done, just to let them know that you are someone that they want to have as someone in their organization. So Facebook has gotten a lot of people in trouble because Facebook is highly searchable, and people, again, they do a search of you and Facebook will come up. So you want to make sure that your content does not include any racial comments or slurs of you partying, drinking, taking drugs, any criminal activity. You want to make sure that even the jokes and things that you have is pretty clean cut, something that cannot be used against you as something offensive, or showing that your character is something of repute, okay, or ill repute, as they say, if I'm even saying that right. But you want to make sure that you are putting yourself, and of course, it's a social media page, so you want to have stuff on there about your family events, things like that. If you're one of those people, your pets or whatever, because they're getting a sense of who you are as a person. But you want to make sure that it is not something that will set them off as someone who has low morals or ethics. You want to make sure that you're showing as someone that will fit into their company culture. Okay. So you want to make sure that you do that. This is a short video. So if you have any questions, I'm going to go and I'm going to show you my LinkedIn profile so that you can see that. I'm going to stop sharing for a minute so that I can pull up my LinkedIn profile. And so I am exiting right now this, and I'm going into my LinkedIn profile, which I actually already have up here, so you can see what a professional profile looks like. And I am going in here. I'm actually popping some things down so you don't see certain things. So I'm going into how people would see it as they're here, and I'm going to go share my LinkedIn profile right now. And so here is my LinkedIn profile. I think I'm sharing. Ah, there we go. Okay, so as you can see, here is my LinkedIn profile. And on the LinkedIn profile, I have my profile here. Okay, good. I wanted to make sure I wasn't covering anything up. And here is my LinkedIn profile. As you can see, it's my profile picture. Like I said, that has my locks. My locks are straighter now, but they had a crinkly look. As you can see, it's a professional photo with a neutral background. I also have the border up here, this headline picture here that is talking about my business. I do executive and business coaching. And so you see Venture Ready Executive Coaching here. And then you see the book that I've written called Why Not Me, which actually is available on Amazon right now. So get it. It is a book about my corporate career and how I was able to climb the ladder there by getting over certain insecurities that I had, that followed me throughout my life, that I had to overcome in order to do the things that I did, and also my transition into business from corporate. So if you are in corporate, there's something in there for you to encourage you. If you are in your own business, there's something to encourage you. And if you have moved from corporate to business or thinking about it, it has some things in there for you as well. So please get that book. It's available right now on Amazon.com. But you see here, it has the professional photo. It has my title and all of the certifications that I have. As you can see, it goes down to a second line on here. If the screen was bigger, it probably would all be one line. And so you have my schooling, which is my you have my company, which is your most recent employer, will show up here, but my company is showing here because it is my most recent employment. And it has my most recent schooling, which was University of Phoenix. So you have here that I'm an executive coach. This little star here is something that is formatable. So I had the star there, and I put that I help you build the business of your dreams. That's my headline, is to sell what I do to whoever is coming who's looking for these type of services. And so companies also go to LinkedIn, and individuals go to LinkedIn to look for companies and people who can help them. It has my city and state. It has how many connections that I have. I have over 500 contacts. Your contact info should be in here. So if you click on this, you will see the contact information for me. We have the services that I provide, which is leadership development, executive coaching, public speaking, career development coaching, and more. You can see more details. You can show that recruiters that you are open to work. So you do want to get on here and get started and control who sees your profile. If you are currently working, you kind of maybe don't want to have that, because companies still do search for people. And if they search and you come up in the search looking for a job, it could cause you to lose your job because they know that you're looking. So you want to be careful, and that will be another presentation on how to present yourself online if you are looking for a job and you're currently working. You'll also see people who have viewed my page and everything. You have people that range from people who want to sell me things, people who are looking for people who are for the services that I provide. And you also have colleagues, you have people who are looking for me to provide them with work. You're looking for people who are recruiters. So I have recruiters who are looking at my things. You have people, former colleagues of mine, and everything like that. You have the about. This is your profile that you want to make to let people know what you do. And how you can be of value to them. So here you see my profile that talks about how I am a benefit to people who hire me for the services and what I offer and the shows that I have and my specialties. You want to have these specialties because these specialties are highly searchable. And so you have the featured things. You see High Tea with Me, and this is an actual show that I have on YouTube and a link that's there. So it's an episode of how to bring your vision that you have to life. So, I actually need to change that because it says well, I'm not going to say what it says, but I'm going to change it because I see something that I need to update on here. But this is an actual video that if people can click on it, it'll take you to YouTube for that. So if you have any portfolios, depending on what you do, if you're more artistic and you do videos, say you're a newscaster or something like that, you have a video, you have presentations that are different places. It doesn't necessarily have to be YouTube. It could be other places. They will click on that and be able to see the video. This is a link to a radio show that I do called Career GPS, Global Positioning Strategies, and it's on building a legacy. So it's about your 2020 goals, which may have changed. Your 2020 goals may have changed this year due to COVID. I know mine have changed significantly. Over here in the corner, you'll see messages, people who have sent me messages. It's about 9 people who have sent me messages, so I actually have to check that. Also, you'll see that up front that I have some messages. I have 9 people where it says your network. These are people who have requested to become a part of your network. You want to be careful who you accept as part of your network. You want to make sure that it's someone that can help you get where you need to be, or one of your colleagues, or someone that you know. Notifications is basically people who are connected to me who have posted out some new things. So here is your dashboard. It tells you how many people viewed your profile, your post views. So any posts that you put out there, how many people have viewed them, and the search appearances. So people will do searches for certain things, for certain people who are looking for certain jobs, and certain people who have certain titles and everything, if they're searching for you for a position. And you will come up in the search based on what is in your profile. So you want to make sure that your profile is keyword rich, just like your resume is. For ATS systems, this is a similar system where they put in keywords and it pulls up people based on what they put in. So you want to make sure that you do that. If you need to add something to your profile section, you can click on this button and it will take you down to it. So here is some recent posts, which is not in the highlighted section. These are new things that I have put out onto the page. So where you see the links up at the front, those are things that I strategically placed on my profile so that it'll come up. But this is activity, and it shows the reactions, it shows the comments that are on here. And I actually do have something for social media marketing strategies, which is more of a business, the business side of it, as opposed to you applying for a job. This one is for you applying for a job. So there are marketing strategies for yourself, and there are marketing strategies for a business. These are social media marketing strategies for people who are searching for a job. So your experience, here's my experience. I'm the Chief Executive Coach of Venture Ready LLC. I've been doing it for 8 years. It says seven years and 8 months, but 8 years we're going to round up. And it talks about what I do and what I provide to people and everything like that. As you can see, it has I and me in it and you in it, because this is social media. It's not a resume. You can do that. And it's not a carbon copy of my resume. I have a business resume. I have a personal resume of things that I have done. And so when people see those things, it is not a carbon copy of those things. And so I also own Venture Ready Broadcasting Network, which houses this show, as well as Career GPS and other professionals who wanted a platform to talk about their expertise. So it talks about that and what it does there. I, from time to time, teach ESL to students who are in China. I teach them English, so that's there. I was a career and education coach. Prior, I was a senior business analyst. Prior, this goes into my professional experience, and then as you can see, there are 5 more experiences. So you see the education section. You want to put all of your education. You can put every piece of education that you have here. So I have that. I have my certifications as a resume writer and a job and career coach. The only one that I don't have on here is the marketing coach that I had, the certification that I have. I have a certification in marketing and business development. So I don't have that on here. I don't know why I don't have it on there, but I don't have it on there at this time. So I volunteered with Little Brothers of the Elderly. I also was an alumni mentor, and I was the chapter secretary of the International Association of Women, which I have to update this because my position recently changed. And so I actually do something else. So I have to put that new position on there. And I have more experiences of volunteer situations. We go to the skills and endorsement section. And on the skills and endorsement section, we have people who have endorsed me for certain skills and skill sets. We have recommendations. So I have recommendations that I've given. As you can see, I've given more recommendations than I've received, but it happens that way. Sometimes you can convince people to give you a recommendation, even if they because most people like my services. I have very few people. Actually, I don't have anybody who has actually complained about my services, but trying to get people to give a recommendation sometimes can be hard. But this is the section where your recommendations, where people have recommended you go. And so, these are the recommendations. You can see there are more. You have accomplishments. And so you have courses that I've taken that were relevant for the things that I'm trying to do. And it's more, these are actually just the courses that I've taken. And I actually need to put more of the courses out there. I think I actually reached the limit on the courses, and that's why this is the only ones that are showing, because I did take much more than that. I have a master's in accounting, and I also have an MBA and a bachelor's in business management. So I do have a lot more classes than that, but I think this was all that I could put on here. And so you have the organizations that I'm part of, which is Forbes Coaches Council, Career Experts, and the list goes on. And so I have the honors and awards that my business has won here as well. I have publications that I have, and I actually do need to update this because Why Not Me, which just came out and came out during the midst of the COVID. It was a perfect storm, is not there, and I do actually need to put that there. Have the languages that you speak. Whew. Okay, so you have the languages that you speak. You also have projects. These are projects that I have worked on in my corporate career and everything, and my interests. And that is that. For that, if you want to share your profile, you can go to more and share your profile. You can save your profile to a PDF. You can build a resume out of your profile. I would warn you, when you do build it, it doesn't look like the resume that you necessarily would have, so you would have to clean it up. You can add to your profile section. You can add to your intro, about, anything that's featured, your background, your education, your licenses and certifications, your volunteer experiences, your skills, your accomplishments, additional information, and supported languages. Okay, so that is this in a nutshell. I have some different things. If you go under me, it gives you certain privacy settings. That's where you would set whether recruiters can search you and things like that, and whether you're public or private and things like that. You can have that. You can control what people see when they go into look at your profile. The language, I'm actually in English and Spanish because I do speak a little bit of conversational Spanish. I can read it, I can write it, and things like that. So I have that in there. You have the posts and activities, job postings to the account. The only reason why I have that is because I am a business and I have business located in there. This is actually my personal profile, but I do have a company, which is Venture Ready LLC. So if you're someone who has a business and you work, you can create a business page, and when you do, the company comes up. So if people click on that, I can click on that and see this is the admin view because I am the administrator, and you will see things about my profile. I actually do need to get a little bit better with managing this. It's been a while since I've been on here, since pretty much COVID hit, and I was taking a look at other things. But also you can see I have a headline for this. and everything about the actual company, which I actually, again, need to update. I've done, if you notice that there are different colors on a personal page, is because I did recently do some rebranding, and the rebranding actually finished in April, like the end of April. And I updated my personal page. I just need to update my professional page to have the new logo and everything that's supposed to be on there due to the rebranding. Okay, so we are going to stop the share. And I do thank you so much for joining us for this episode of High Tea with Me. I do want to let you know before we go that we are conducting a session, virtual conference on establishing a business, if you need to establish a business. And it is for people who are in business that need to brush up on some things and grow or get back on track, maybe from COVID. We're going to have all kinds of sessions. There is October 30th to the 31st. It is called the Executive GPS Conference. To learn more about it, you can go to www.theexecutivegps.com. Okay. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank doing this, but that is it. And also, again, my book, Why Not Me? Overcoming Insecurities to Gain Success, is available on Amazon.com. I do thank you so very much for joining us for this episode of High Tea with Me. Thank you and have a good evening. Thank you for joining us for another episode of High Tea with Me. To be a guest on the show, contact us via email, info@ventureready.net. Thank you again, and see you next week.